Hey, hey, hey. What's good, fam? It's Tuesdays with Tawana. Yeah, today is the day. Tuesdays with Tawana, aka TWT, brought to you by Reverend T. Tawana. I am your host and your curator. What an honor and a privilege to be here and take time off from a writing break to join with community and to be with you on this day. I don't take it for granted. I love you dearly. I love building community. Hey, Tony. Today's broadcast, I am representing Tony Michelle Love and Lipstick. So I have on the pink lip gloss and this wonderful t-shirt representing my sister. So y'all support her. It's actually, I put the website on my Tuesdays with Tawana page, hashtag Tuesdays with Tawana. You can go on there, follow my page, and you can also log on to her website for some swag that I got. I'm so excited, and I'm loving the pink lip gloss because I really don't do makeup and lipstick, so this pink lip gloss is just popping and just perfect, and it's her creation. And the bottle that it comes in, oh, I have it right here. It's so precious. Look at the gloss. Look at how it's glowing. I love it. Love it. Hey, Julie. Good to see you. An honor and a privilege, beloved. We've been on this journey together for a long time, and I'm glad you're still rocking with me. Thank you. So, yes, Tony Alexander, Tonisha, y'all support her as she is doing great things, and I honor you today, my sister, by shouting you out, and I hope that people will go on. And if you are in the New York metro area and you need a makeup artist, she is the one to go to for sure. Y'all make sure y'all make that happen. Support my sister. Yeah, so let me see if I can share this onto my Tuesdays with Tawana page in case other people want to join there. And then we're going to get started with some conversation. We have a lot to talk about on today, so I want us to get started. If you are joining us for the first time and listening in, I will invite you in or bring you into the conversation. When you make comments, I insert those comments into this beautiful divine narrative. If you don't make a comment, I won't know that you're there. And if you want me to shout you out, you can just say hi and I'll shout you out. This will be heard either live or on my page, or the Tuesdays with Tawana page, or on my personal page, or on various podcast platforms and on YouTube. So if you miss it now, share, share, share. Encourage people to listen to it, because today we're going to talk about, this is all we have. Today, this moment is all we have. And I'll even share the inspiration behind that as well. Tony said, oh wait, I have to put on so I have so many glasses because I need a new prescription. Real talk, transparency. So I have to put on my glasses where I can see. Oh, it has SPF and it's fused with geranium essential oils. That's why I love it, because it's natural, and because I can't put any chemicals in my hair or my skin. Everything is natural. I use shea butter. I love this lip gloss. I go to a natural hairstylist. So natural, 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 with all this melanin that's surviving and fighting cancer every day. So it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's Domestic Violence Awareness Month. It's Mental Wellness Awareness Month. So we're going to try to squeeze all of that in the next 20 minutes. Hey, Larry, my wonderful brother. So good to see you. I know that you were hanging out last Tuesday. I love it. I love to see you out and about having a good time and just enjoying life and living life to the fullest. And you, brother, are the epitome of what we are going to talk about today. Because all we have is today. All we have is this moment. All I have is this moment to share with you. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow is unknown and a mystery. But today, I'm here. Today, we're here. Today, we're breathing. Today we have an opportunity to make choices. Today we have an opportunity to dream. Today we have an opportunity to work, rest, and play. Today we have an opportunity to join Tuesdays with Tawana. Today we have an opportunity to learn more about breast cancer awareness and domestic violence awareness and mental wellness awareness. We have an opportunity today. Today is all we have, beloved, and we want to make the best of it. I encourage you to make the best of it. Not everybody on their cancer journey is journeying like me. Some can't even sit up and have a podcast like this. Others are out there working and doing their thing because they're cancer free. Today I have not heard those words. I am hopeful that one day I will hear those words so that I'm not in treatment indefinitely every 3 weeks. So with all of the research and Black women making noise and inserting our story into the narrative when we don't have access to all of the clinical trials and access to health care and access to wonderful doctors or we can't afford health care. So not everybody's journey looks like mine. Keep that in mind as we know all we have is right now. Someone is in their bed maybe listening to this because they're immobile. They can't move without help and support. I was there. I remember that. I remember when I was on chemo and I lost my hair and lost weight. It was hard for me to stand. My children had to make my meals, even my smoothies. They took me out for walks. I was there when I needed someone. And now I'm pretty much independent. But right now I have an opportunity to listen to my body. And when my body tells me, T, it's time to go lay down, even if I'm just watching TV, because there is a difference between sleep and rest. Sleep is a part of rest, but sleep is not the only attribute of rest. Sometimes it's just sitting down and taking deep breaths and meditating, or even just clearing your mind and watching the sun or the moon or the trees or the rain or family pictures or something on TV that doesn't make you think. Like, don't turn on the news just for a moment and just enjoy some laughter, some comedy or whatever you love. You may love dramas and action movies and things of that nature. All we have is right now, and we want to optimize that moment right now. So this episode is about encouraging you in the right now. Now, you may think because the way it's worded, all we have is right now is from a deficit model. But I want to flip that for us and have us think about all we have right now. All we have is right now. And right now we have life because we are here experiencing one another. I am here talking to you after being in treatment on yesterday. I am here with a fractured rib. I am here with scar tissue. So don't let this movement and stuff fool you. There are times when I'll have a muscle spasm so bad it really like paralyzes me and I can't move for a few minutes. I just got to let it ride out. I've had several nosebleeds, and y'all know from 2 years ago, my nosebleeds almost took me out of here. So I have to be very mindful and go to the ear, nose, and throat clinic. So there's a lot going on. You see the tip of the iceberg, but sometimes we don't know what's going on underwater where the mass of the iceberg is, right? So that's the mass of life and what's happening. And the tip of the iceberg is social media, which we didn't have yesterday. How do y'all feel about that? Many of us globally rely on social media, not only for Tuesdays with Tawana or posting beautiful pictures of your family, whether it was graduation, whether it was daughter's day or son's day or whatever it was, but people actually use like WhatsApp to keep in touch with their families that are in other countries, or Instagram or Facebook to keep in touch with people that are not here in the continental US. And we actually lost that for a moment. How did that make you feel? Angela, Reverend Bullock is in the building, present in the moment. What are we going to do with this moment? Good morning, Mother Carolyn. Always good to see you. Tony said, I took time to just breathe. Yes. So what's funny is I didn't even know what was going on because I had treatment yesterday. So when I'm in treatment, I'm usually not on social media. I'm usually either doing work or catching up on some schoolwork or doing some research or something. And I try to go on Instagram to post my normal pic, treatment day or whatever. And I couldn't post it. And then my feed wouldn't refresh. I thought it was just an internet problem in the hospital. So I just put it away and, didn't try to troubleshoot or whatever and continued on about my business. Watched Chicago PD, which is one of my favorite shows because I have a huge crush on Leroyce. So I think I watch it just for some eye candy, just for some truth and transparency right now, because all we have is right now. So you never know. He might see this video, and he's a little young for me, but that's okay. That's okay. He's a little young for me. But oh yeah, Tanisha said mine too. So when I talk about all we have is right now, there is a fullness to that where we have an opportunity right now and we have choices. Like I choose active treatment through chemotherapy and targeted therapy because it's my body and my choice. Someone else may choose a holistic route. It's their body and their choice. Someone else may choose to go back to work and make the best of their moment. That is their body, their lives, their choice, right? So in this moment we have this divine power, this magical opportunity. Sorry, I have to switch glasses because I want to see y'all. Oh. My brother's messing with me, y'all. But he's my big brother, so I gotta let him get away with it. Oh, Jeanette, beloved, good morning. Buenos dias. Mi amor. Mwah. Love you. Love you. So in this moment, in this huge moment, we have divine magical opportunities to make the best of a said situation, to make the best of this moment. Now, I understand we do dream. I want to encourage you to dream because when I was younger, I wasn't encouraged to dream for whatever reason. It's not necessarily a bad thing because I had the best parents in the world. Can I just say that? They're my ancestors now, and I'm so grateful because I have a different relationship with them, a beautiful relationship. But I didn't dream. I don't know if it was because of my own insecurities, the insecurities of my dark skin, my skinny body, whatever. I didn't dream. I didn't think I was good enough. I would always start something and not finish it. And now I'm learning that now we have an opportunity to make the best of our lives and to make the best of what we have right now, regardless of what's going on in the world. I make the best of these situations because I don't want to die at the hands of systemic ills. I don't want to die because the morbidity rate for Black women in breast cancer is higher than other races. I want to speak truth to power. I want to be out here being an activist and an advocate and letting people know that you don't have to succumb to the ills of society, that there are resources out there that can help you, like the Stomp Out Breast Cancer Foundation or Carrie's Touch and other organizations that'll help you and journey with you to be your own advocate and to make these decisions and choices that are best for you and best for your body. So we have an amazing opportunity right now to dream and to dream big. And then we also have an opportunity to plan. Even though we're in the right now, I am planning to defend on October 26th. What I do now, it depends on whether that October 26th comes into fruition. So I have to make a decision to say, if I don't do this writing, it lessens the likelihood of the 26th happening. But also, if I don't listen to my body, I won't make it to the 26th anyway. So in this moment, I have an opportunity to breathe and to reflect and listen to my body and do the best that I can. My dear beloved Tammy Denise said to me, your best is always good enough. Always good enough. Because I started to, have that self-doubt and the voices in my head, like, can I do this? Can I really do this? And nah, sis, you are more than enough, and you can do this, and you are going to be doctor on the 26th. You will defend. So we're going to speak life into that right now. Hey, Miss Odessa. Good afternoon, my church sister in Christ. I miss you. Jeanette said, share history. Yeah, why am I trying to play myself, y'all? Why? Why? Share history helps continue educating people. Absolutely. And that's why I tell my story. Now, I don't tell everything. There are some things, my family is on here, dear friends are on here, family is on here, and there are some things that I just don't share because it's different with sharing face to face than it is on social media or on this platform. So there's not, I didn't share with you how I had a meltdown the other day because I had so many edits that I had to do, and I felt like I was on editing burnout, and I just cried. I just released. I just let it out. And then I found out through posting a meme about it that other people went through the same thing. Like it's a feeling that we must acknowledge and recognize and not hold it in, because then I won't leave room for the creative juices to flow and for the creator to pour back into me so that I can do the work that I am so called to do. The work that you're called to do. You are called to do the work that you are doing right now. And how do we make the best of that? We love ourselves unconditionally. We take care of ourselves. That's why we must be advocates for ourselves when we walk into these doctor's offices. Do you know how it feels when I walk into Johns Hopkins at least every 3 weeks, and I think about Henrietta Lacks and how they stole her cells without her permission so I can live? How ironic is that, beloved? How ironic is it that I was on a clinical trial a couple of years ago, and the Tuskegee experiment and other experiments that didn't fare well for us. And I decided to be a part of that clinical trial because that was all I knew and what I had before me. And that was a decision that I chose to make because it's my body and my choice. And I'm still here because of it. So it's so important that we share our stories so that we bring people to a level of awareness and encouragement and empowerment, and to be hopeful and to be loving and to speak truth to power and to be courageous and to be brave. And we're not talking about a strong Black woman motif or men are supposed to act this way or Black men should act that way. Nah, we are talking about the divine and the divine in us that lives in us, that gives us the strength and the power and the courage and the bravery to go forward and do the things that we need to do so that we can survive as community. I do these episodes and this vodcast and podcast because I want us to build community. I want us to get a language of communication, of unconditional positive regard. I want us to lift one another up and to speak life into one another and not tear each other down and judge people with this implicit bias that's killing us. The implicit bias that shows up at work or in law enforcement or in the medical field. I don't want that to kill us as a diaspora. So I'm calling forth this courage and this bravery to tell our stories because we don't know what we don't know in this moment. We don't know what we don't know. So it's always an opportunity to learn when we just take a moment and be in the moment and pick up the phone and call someone and check in on someone. I know it's hard to get together during COVID. I am fully vaccinated. I got my booster shot, but that still does not increase my immune system. The chemotherapy negatively impacts my immune system. So I have to be very careful about where I go, who I visit. I can't really be around unvaccinated people. So I visit just those in small settings who are vaccinated, making those decisions. So it's hard to build community in that way, but we are creative, powerful beings. We create ways to come together and to commune and to share our stories, whether it's a platform like this or other social media platforms or phone calls or group text messages or group FaceTime or whatever it is. We have an opportunity to grow and to learn together. And right now is all that we have because tomorrow is not promised to us, but we have right now, we have today. So let's shift to domestic violence for one moment. Sometimes this day is harrowing for some. Some people are living through very extreme, dangerous situations when it comes to domestic violence, and COVID is not helping. 1 out of 4 women will experience domestic or sexual violence, and 1 in 9 men will. Those are horrible statistics. Any one is too many. So the way we unveil it and the way we address it is by talking about it. When we don't talk about it, it stays in the dark. It stays full of shame and guilt, and it stays covered. Nothing can heal that's covered. Nothing. So we got to speak it and speak life and speak resources. If you don't know what to do when you encounter someone who is in a domestic violence situation, call the National Domestic Violence Hotline, 799-SAFE. And it's also my cover page on my Facebook page. Call them. That's not only for survivors, but it's also for people who have witnessed or who are involved or around someone or some people who are victims and perpetrators of domestic violence. Some perpetrators don't know what to do. Some perpetrators don't know what they don't know. And they think that what they're doing is love and it's okay because that's what they've seen in their family dynamics. And it takes talking about it and speaking into it to help people to realize and raise a level of consciousness that, nah, this ain't right. Love don't hurt this way. Love is not controlling. Love is liberating. That's why in the Christian tradition, they say where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty because God is love. Right? So if you don't know what to do, you can call the National Domestic Violence Hotline. And also, if you're a part of an organization, a part of a congregation, a part of a said community, this is a beautiful opportunity for you to do some workshops or preaching or do something to use your voice, right? And your agency to talk about domestic violence. Now, healingthehealers.org, they have a series, a 4-part series. And I'm not plugging this because I was the moderator and the one hosting it. I am bringing this to your attention because it's powerful resources from many different voices. We have Imam on there, Imam Majid on there. We have Reverend Carrie from this area, who is a domestic violence survivor and an advocate. So we have Regina Groff and her mother, Reverend Benita. They share their story. So there are resources there. And then there are written materials to support you so we don't leave you out there all alone to do this work, because it's hard work, because you need to know, or you should know, what to do and what not to do. Because telling a person in a domestic violence situation to leave can do more harm than good. Or telling them, you're stronger than that, you don't have to put up with that. That may put them in more danger than they're already in. So you want to know what to do and you want to know what not to do. And we want to do that for breast cancer awareness as well. Telling people the choices that they made are this or that. It's their choice. Love them where they are, because all we have is this moment. So what an awesome opportunity for us to just show love, whether we agree or not. Whether I agree with the healing route you chose, or if I agree with the relationship that you're in, show love. Because sometimes that love, oftentimes, if not, or I dare even say all the time, that love outweighs the hate and the scrutiny and the judgment and the bias and the assumptions. That love outweighs all of that. If we just remove all of our preconceived notions and just love people right where they are, that will give them the strength and the courage and the bravery to move forward, to live and not die at the hands of systemic ills like racism, breast cancer, domestic violence, mental wellness. This is also Mental Wellness Month. And I say mental wellness intentionally because I don't want us to focus on, I want us to know about the illness, but I want us to know even more about the journey towards wellness and the journey in wellness. So Healing the Healers is coming out with a mental health series as well, the end of this month. I look forward to supporting that and talking with some really great, powerful people who have, when I say powerful, their voices are powerful, they're divine, and they have agency to get their voice out and to get the message across. So I look forward to talking about mental wellness, because even in domestic violence, we don't talk about mental wellness enough. We don't talk about that journey to mental wellness, and we don't even talk about the illness that's plaguing our folk, that's causing at times the domestic violence, or it may not even cause it, but it's definitely not making it any better, and it's just adding more insult to injury. So those three things are happening this month, and there are other things happening. It's Pastors Appreciation Month. Whatever your lot, whatever you're called to, whatever your passion is, feed that passion with love. Feed that passion with leadership. Feed that passion with your voice. Feed that passion with your agency. Feed that passion in community, because we only have, this is what we have right now, is all we have, and we have a decision to love. We have the opportunity to make a decision to love. We have an opportunity to love ourselves as we love our Creator and as we love others. But we got to love ourselves first, and we got to know what love is. And someone else said to me, I think it might have been Reverend Tammy Denise again. She is just a brilliant, and or it may have even been Mother Carolyn. I got I rock with some really cool people. Let me just say that. But someone said to me, I want you to operate out of your overflow. So in other words, take care of you. You are surviving cancer. You're surviving HER2 positive metastatic breast cancer. You're a Ph.D. student. You do some consulting work so that you can keep food on the table, because I have to stay at a certain income level in order for me to get the proper health care for me to live. We live in the richest country in this world, and this is what I have to do. I have to be impoverished to get the health care that I need. We got to be advocates for universal health care. We got to be advocates for livable wages. We got to be advocates to make sure that our Black and brown beloveds are getting the jobs that they are so deserving of, and they're creative and they're talented, and they're being passed over because of the color of our skin. Whatever your lot, whatever you are advocating for, do it out of love, because all we have is right now. And when we look at it, no matter our situation or circumstance, we have a lot. We have an opportunity to do and be. Even if it's someone who is dealing with a debilitating disease and they are able to move their arm for the first time. Oh, what joy, what power, what strength, what bravery. Even if someone needs someone to be their caregiver, thank God for the caregivers. Thank God for the caregivers. My daughter, when I was first diagnosed, she rocked with me to every appointment, every treat, everywhere. And Dr. Rosemary Allen gave her a job that she was able to do her job with flexibility so that she can be there for me. Thank God for the caregivers. And that, someone might say, who's operating out of a deficit model, well, why do we need caregivers? Why are we, applauding? I have cancer. I'm diagnosed with cancer. Or I'm diagnosed with diabetes, or I'm an amputee, or whatever. But let's look at the blessings that come out of that. It's hard. It's not easy. It's not easy. You know how I know? Because I've been through it. And this diagnosis has taught me a lot. This diagnosis has taught me to love me unconditionally. This diagnosis has taught me to love myself without breasts. This diagnosis has taught me not to answer my phone and to take some time away from my phone. This diagnosis has taught me how to love myself so that I can love others. This diagnosis helped me to be humble enough so that I can have a caregiver. And I didn't think of this strong black woman adage that's so false. Because when we talk about the strong black woman of the world, they're not honoring our pain, they're not honoring our tears, they're not honoring our feelings and our way of being. So just this opportunity to humble myself, to have caregivers, to have people love on me and not put up a wall or a gate to block that. All the opportunities that we have right now to love and to love unconditionally. Oh, the opportunities that we have right now to look at what's great that's going on in our world, just in the midst of our diagnosis. I won't say despite it, because we don't want to ignore it. We don't want to suppress it, because it's going to come up in other ways. So we need to talk about it so we can be about it, right? Mother Carolyn, hey, Miss Russell, good to see you. She says amen. Tony says amen. Mother Carolyn said, thank God for the caregivers. Yes. And Tanisha said, caregiving is humbling too. Thank you for inserting that into this narrative. So for this Tuesdays with Tawana, and all we have is right now, let's look at it from an appreciative inquiry and not from a deficit model, and start looking at the beautiful things that are around us, even when we don't think that they're beautiful until we set some intentions around its beauty. Until we set some intentions around dreaming beautifully. We set some intentions about being courageous beautifully, or beautifully courageous. We set our intentions on that. What's up, Reverend Quante? We set our intentions. Our intentions are powerful. We set our intentions and put it in the atmosphere, and beloved, things change. Ask me how I know. Because I knew that all I had was right now. And I'm still here to build community with you, my beloveds. I love you. Thank you for rocking with me today. Thank you for building community. I ask you to share this as much as you can. Hey, my little buttercup, Courtney. Amen. Yes. I ask that you share this, that you talk about this with your families, and let's talk about loving life despite what life is giving us. We should not live a life that's contingent upon systemic ills that are just out there to do us harm and to outright kill us. And they're always amazed that we are survivors and we're still here, because we are just too divine and too beautiful and too brilliant, even in the midst of our diagnosis, even in the midst of disparate numbers, even in the midst of what's going on with impoverished communities and our schools and redlining, and what's going on in the government arguing over this infrastructure bill. And did we say 1 trillion or did we say 3 trillion? I don't care what it is, just approve it so that we can live, so that we can move forward and give people an opportunity to live without being full of lack, right? Lack of food, or adequate housing, or adequate pay for a livable wage, right? So when I say right now is all that we have, I'll close with this. I was talking with my dissertation chair, and we were talking about a lot of editing that needed to happen. Chemo brain is real, and chemo brain doing a dissertation is no joke. So when I asked for prayers, and I'm so grateful for the 300 something people that responded to my post to pray for me, I'm so grateful. But I was talking to my chair, and she was telling me, well, in order for this to happen, this has to happen, and we got to do this and we got to do that. And I just looked at her, and I record our session so that I can remember what information she gives me. But I'll close with this. She's telling me all this information, and I just look at her and I said, Doc, all I have is right now. So I'm going to write right now. And there are times when I'm going to rest right now. There are times when I'm going to call my sisters and just chop it up and laugh right now. But all I have is right now. The 26th is going to be the 26th, however the universe designs it. And I'm going to do my best to ensure that whenever it's supposed to happen, it will happen. I don't live with regrets, beloved. I live with learning the lessons of the past, so that I can make sound decisions in the right now that will afford me the good consequences in the future, whatever the future may hold. So I wish you love and light. I pray you joy and peace and courage and bravery and rest and play and work and all of those things in the divine right now, because you have an opportunity to be. You have an opportunity to breathe. We have an opportunity to build community. We have an opportunity to share. Mama Lovey, yes, right now. Come on, see, now I want to preach. I haven't preached in a while because I had to decline some preaching moments because of this dissertation. So I can't wait until it's over because I want to get back up behind the pulpit and preach and preach and preach because I love people. I love community. I love building community. So with that, I love you. I love you. I love you with unconditional positive regard. And let us love one another so that we can heal together, we can build together, we can dream together, because all that we have it right now. God bless you, beloveds.